Have you ever really looked at the side of your tire and just seen, well, a total jumble of letters and numbers? It might look random, but it's not. It's actually a secret code. And today, we're going to crack it wide open together. Knowing this stuff can literally save you money, and way more importantly, it can keep you safe on the road. So let's get right into it. Okay, so first things first, let's just take a second to appreciate what a modern tire is. It is so much more than just a big ring of rubber. I mean, look at this cutaway. It really shows you what's going on inside. We're talking about a serious marvel of engineering. You've got all these layers, body plies that make up the skeleton of the tire, steel belts that give it strength and help you grip the road, and these super strong wire beads that literally lock the tire onto the wheel. It's like this incredible high-tech sandwich, and every single layer is designed for your safety and performance. And, not all of those high-tech sandwiches are created equal. The two main flavors you're going to come across are passenger tires and light truck, or LT tires. Passenger tires? Well, they're for your everyday car, and they're all about a smooth, quiet, comfortable ride. But LT tires? They're a whole different beast. They are built tough. We're talking higher air pressures, heavier loads. They're made for trucks and vans that really get put to work. All right, so now that we've got the basics down, let's get to the main event, the sidewall itself. The best way to think about it is like it's the tire's biography or maybe its technical spec sheet. It tells you absolutely everything you need to know from its size all the way to its birthday. You just have to know how to read the language. And here we go. Look at all that. It can look kind of overwhelming, can it? You got the brand name, the model, and then all these codes. We're going to break down the whole thing, don't worry. But first, let's focus on the biggest, most prominent set of numbers and letters you see. That's the tire size. Okay, so let's zoom in on that main code. We're going to use P22560R16 as our guide here. Every single part of this code tells you something specific, and we're about to tear it down piece by piece. First up, that letter P. This one's pretty easy. It just stands for P-metric, which basically means it's a passenger car tire built to US standards. Now, if you see an LT, well, you already know what that is, light truck. But what if there's no letter at all? That usually means it's a Eurometric tire. They have slightly different ways of calculating load, but honestly, for most of us, it's not a huge deal. Okay, next number, 225. This is the tire's width, from one side to the other, from sidewall to sidewall. And really important, it's measured in millimeters. So this tire is 225 millimeters across. Simple as that. All right, now for the number after the slash. In our case, it's 60. This is what's called the aspect ratio. Now, this one can be a little tricky, but stick with me. It's the height of the tire's sidewall, but it's shown as a percentage of the width we just figured out. And this picture makes it super clear. For our P225/60 tire, the height of that sidewall is exactly 60% of that 225 millimeter width. So think about it. A lower number here means a shorter sidewall. Like those thin rubber band tires you see on sports cars? That gives you sharper handling. A higher number means a taller, beefier sidewall, like on an SUV, which gives you a much cushier ride. Okay, next up is the letter R. This just stands for radial. It's all about how the guts of the tire, the internal layers, are put together. Honestly, you don't need to get lost in the weeds on this one. Just know that pretty much every modern tire you'll ever buy is a radial tire. It's the standard because it gives you a way better ride and the tread lasts longer. And we're at the end of the code. The number is 16. This one's easy. It's the diameter of the wheel it's supposed to fit on, and pay attention here, this one's measured in inches. So after all those millimeters, we're back to inches. This tire is made for a 16-inch wheel. And this is the one number that is absolutely non-negotiable. It has to match your wheel size. Period. Awesome. So we've cracked the main size code. But wait, there's more. That's just one part of the story. Now we get to dig into the other codes that tell you how the tire actually performs, its limits. So usually right after that size code, you're going to see a little two-part code, something like 97T. This little guy is called the service description. The number part is the load index, and the letter is the speed rating. Think of them together as the tire's absolute do not exceed limits. Let's break that down. The number, in this case, 97, is the load index. And here's the key thing to remember. That number is not the weight in pounds or kilograms. It's a code. You have to look it up on a chart. All you really need to know is that a higher number means the tire can carry more weight. Simple as that. And a letter, here it's a T. That's your speed symbol. It tells you the maximum speed the tire is certified to handle safely. Each letter stands for a different speed. A T rating is good for up to 118 miles per hour. But let's be super clear, that is not a suggestion to go that fast. It's just telling you what the tire is capable of. Okay, now scan around the sidewall a bit, and you're going to find another important set of ratings. It'll say UTQG, which stands for Uniform Tire Quality Grading. This is basically a system the US government came up with to help us, the buyers, compare tires apples to apples on things like how long they'll last, how well they stop, and how they handle heat. So there are three parts to this. First, you've got treadwear. It's a number, and the higher the number, the longer the tread should last. So a tire with a 600 rating should last about twice as long as one rated 300. See? Easy. Second is traction. This is graded with letters from AA being the best down to C. It basically measures how well the tire can stop in a straight line on wet roads. And finally, you have temperature, also graded A, B, or C. This tells you how well the tire can handle and get rid of heat. So the simple takeaway is, for treadwear, bigger number is better. For traction and temp, you want to see an A, or even better, an A. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. We've got size, we've got performance. But now we're at what I think is maybe the single most important piece of safety info on the entire tire. I call it the tire's birth certificate. So every tire sold here in the US has to have DOT stamped on the side. That just means it meets the Department of Transportation's safety rules. After that DOT, you'll see this long string of letters and numbers. That's the tire identification number, or TIN. It tells you a bunch of stuff, like who made it and where, but the really important part, the part we care about, is at the very end. That's the date. Now, this code has changed a bit over the decades. Back in the day, it was different, but here's the good news. You can pretty much ignore all that old history. For any tire made in this century, since the year 2000, it's super simple. All you need to do is look for the last 4 digits of that long DOT code. That's the golden ticket. And this is how easy it is to read. Let's say the last 4 numbers are 0312. You just split it in half. The first 2 numbers, 03, that's the week of the year it was made, so the 3rd week. The last 2 numbers, 12, that's the year, so 2012. Put it together, this tire was born in the 3rd week of 2012. See? Super easy. So, okay, we've learned a lot of codes. Why does any of this actually matter? Well, let's bring it all home. Knowing the size means you buy the right tire, no mistakes. Understanding the performance ratings means you get a tire that's actually safe for how you drive. But checking that date code, that's maybe the biggest deal of all. The rubber in tires gets old and brittle over time, just from being exposed to the air. An old tire can be a ticking time bomb, even if it looks brand new and has deep tread. It's that important. So that confusing mess of numbers on your sidewall, it's not so confusing anymore, is it? It's a whole story packed with everything you need to know about your tire's identity, its limits, and its age. You now know the language. So the only question left is, are you going to go out there and read it?